Good afternoon. Today I'm making spinach lasagna and garlic bread again. So I have my ingredients set up. This is for my white sauce, 4 tablespoons of butter, a quarter cup of flour, whole milk, and Parmesan cheese. Mozzarella cheese. I'm going to saute this this is shallots, garlic, which I'm going to sauce for the spinach, and I bought frozen spinach, and I have it draining all that liquid. You don't need any liquid. I drain all the liquid out. Okay, so that's 2 packs of spinach, frozen spinach, and that's draining. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do the sauce first. Do the sauce first. Melt the butter. Melt the butter. And this is 4 cups of sugar, or 1 quart of milk, sugar. 1 quart of milk. 4 cups of milk. Okay? I can't speak right now. And I'm going to add Parmesan cheese to that, and Romano cheese. So the butter has to be melted, and you have to have your salt and your pepper, okay? So I'm going to add the flour, and you okay, so now you pour the flour, you pour the milk in, and you pour it in slow, so you won't have any lumps. This has to thicken. So this has to get really hot. Then we're going to add the cheese. So I'm add the black pepper. And I'm going to add the cheese. Sorry, the salt. My mind is not here today. But 1 teaspoon of salt. You want this to thicken up a little bit, get really hot. And we're going to add the mozzarella cheese. Let that melt. And I'm using shredded low moisture mozzarella cheese. This has to get really hot so the cheese can melt. Just want that to get hot.
Why did you use the pan for your macaroni? What? He was talking to me, he said I could pass. Yes, you said you could pass.
Okay, it's starting to thicken up. I'm going to add the cheese because it's starting to get really hot. Oh, that looks really good. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of this Romano cheese. Look at that. That looks really nice. And that's what you're looking for. You see that smoothness? That's what you're looking for. I'm going to add the rest of this Romano cheese. I'm going to turn the stove down because you don't want the cheese to burn. Oh, that looks very good. So this is your sauce for the lasagna. And if you wanted to do a red sauce, you can. But today I'm using a white sauce. I'm gonna save this for later. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm going to put some more salt. A little bit more salt. Another teaspoon of salt. You got to season everything. So I put 2 teaspoons of salt. So I'm going to put this over to the side. That is done. Okay. Now I'm going to saute my, I got some milk out in here. Saute my garlic and my shallots. I'm going to use two teaspoons of olive oil. The reason I'm doing this first, so it'll be cool when I put everything together. Later on, I'm going to do the mixture for the spinach. That looks really good. That is good. It's nice and seasoned. So I'm going to saute. It should be nice and hot now. Turn the stove up. And my oven is at 400. That's 400. I'm going to add the shallots now. And then I'm going to add the garlic now. I like using a lot of garlic, so I use about 8 garlics. And I use 3 shallots, 3 jumbo shallots. So I want this all over the lasagna. So I'm going to mix this in the mixture. And if you were doing fresh spinach, you could saute everything and then add the spinach to it. So I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. Season everything. Okay, so this is finished. I'm going to put this back in the bowl.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
So that's done. So now we're going to do the filling for the lasagna. Okay? Now I'm going to add 1 ricotta, don't know why they don't have 16 ounces of ricotta. They only have 15 ounces. Okay. Alright, so we get that out of the way. You add the eggs. You add the Romano cheese. You add the Parmesan cheese. You add the mozzarella cheese. Okay. You add black pepper. About 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of salt. And about 2 teaspoons of grated nutmeg. If you want to use, I like to use the fresh nutmeg. Okay, so that's 2. So you post about, let's put it on. Okay, so that's it. Let's see how this looks. Okay. So that's good. Okay. So I'm going to move this out the way. Move it out the way. I'm going to put it in this pan here. Empty it out. Make sure you get all of this goodness off. Make sure you get all of this out. You don't want to leave anything behind. So I'm going to add another ricotta cheese. So if you buy a 32-ounce container, you can just use half of it and save the other half for later. So I'm going to put this filling in here. Put that in there. The wonderful onions and shallots in here. Mix it together. Oh, that smells so good. Then I'm going to add the spinach to that. And make sure you empty out all. Look how much water. Look how much water is in there. So you don't need all that water. So you make sure you strain out all the water. You don't need any water. So the first thing you do, if you buy frozen spinach, you thaw it out and you strain it. Make sure you strain all that water out and you set it aside. If you cook fresh spinach, you still have to strain that liquid out because spinach is full of water. So you have to strain that spinach, strain the liquid out. Okay. So you add the spinach to that. Oh, goodness. Wasting my spinach. Okay. And you mix it in. Okay, so now I have my pan. Let me get I have to get a ladle now. You know what, I'm gonna use a scoop. Okay. I'm gonna use a spoon. I got my Parmesan cheese here, which I'm going to put. I'm going to get my mozzarella cheese. Tomorrow I'm making creme brulee, pumpkin creme brulee, and pumpkin smoothies. That's for tomorrow's dessert. So I'm going to use this oven ready lasagna sheets. First, I'm going to put some sauce at the bottom of the pan so it wouldn't stick. Just a little bit. Okay. So you put a little bit of sauce. Okay. So you take this and you layer it. This is your first set of and all that garlic and shallots are mixed in there. Okay. So now we're going to add some Parmesan cheese, some mozzarella cheese, and then the sauce. You make sure you put enough sauce. Okay? So now you add another layer. Add some of the filling, more of the filling. And spinach is a good source of iron. I love spinach. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Sauce. All right, so I'm going to break one of those. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to spread This is the last of it. And then we're going to put this right here. Scrape off all that goodness of the spatula. Okay, so I'm going to add some of Parmesan cheese and mozzarella. Okay, add the sauce. Okay. Add some more Parmesan cheese. And add the last bit of the mozzarella. And then we're going to cover it and put in the oven for 20 minutes. Okay, that's done. And I have some left over. So I'm going to cover it with some foil. And put it in the oven for 20 minutes. It's on 400. Okay? You don't want to pat it down because it's going to stick to the cheese. You don't want that. So I'm going to do my garlic bread now. I have my spread, my cheese spread, my cheese and butter spread with garlic and parsley. Okay? And I salt it. So I have my four bread, my mini loaves here, and I'm going to cut them in half. It's something like I did last week. And I'm going to butter them.
Whatever.
Like when I hurt my leg.
Get over it. That happened about 10 years ago.
No, it's an example.
Get over it.
Okay, so I'm going to butter my bread now with, maybe I should put it on here. Okay, so put this here. Okay, so I'm going to butter the bread. I'm going to bake it in the oven for like 10 minutes. I'm going to put enough butter on there so it gets golden brown and the butter will melt with the cheese. That's Parmesan cheese, a stick of butter, a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese. I put a lot of garlic. I love garlic, I'm saying, and about 2 teaspoons of the parsley. You can do it however you want it. The last time I put onion powder, I put garlic powder. However you want to do it, you can. But this time I just put the garlic and the parsley. So we have enough there. I'm going to put it in the oven now. Little air fryer we have. We'll put it in. And I'm going to bake it on okay, so we want to bake and at 350, 10 minutes. Okay, so that's baking for 10 minutes. My garlic bread is finished. Take it out the oven. And look how that looks nice, right? Oh. Garlic bread looks delicious. Nice and toasty. Hot. Ooh. So the garlic bread is done. I like. Nice and golden and toasty it is. Okay? Now I'm going to take the lasagna out of the oven. And only around the sides got golden. But that's okay. Look at that. That looks delicious. And it's perfect. It's perfect. Look at that. Looks really good. It started to get a little dark in the middle, but I don't want to overcook the pasta. But that looks good. That looks great. Now let it cool. And when it cools, I'm going to cut a piece and put on a plate with a piece of garlic bread. Okay? But that looks great. Spinach lasagna with white sauce. So it's cooled down. I've cut a piece already. And I'm going to take the piece out. Look how cheesy that is. Ah! Nice and cheesy. La 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 la.
Nothing. My little sister was outside looking at me.
So it looks really nice. See that? All the layers of spinach and cheese and the garlic bread.